was terrible. There we go.
Yeah, that was
a good clap. There it is. On the 16 sync points later. Yeah.
Oh, that's very rhythmically even though. Look at that.
It is actually. Wow.
Paradiddle. It's true.
Yes.
So welcome back to Jake Let's Jay, y'all. It's been I don't know for y'all how much longer, but it's been a while since we've recorded.
Yes, I think our last episode actually is what we're talking about today going to be all of what we thought?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Our last episode was actually talking about our expectations of the Joker movie.
Yes.
And
we're talking about expectations.
Here we are. So at least we're consistent. We might have been about 2 or 3 weeks out from putting out another episode, because of whatever. But you know,
life.
Yeah.
We're back.
We are back.
We saw a movie yesterday.
Yes, we're actually, for once, seeing a movie and then talking about it almost directly after we saw it.
Look at us.
We're catching up.
I'm happy about that.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm very happy too. And also very happy about the performance I saw yesterday.
Yeah. No, if I can just like go back 24, I guess it would be about 24 hours now, and just recapture that emotion when the theater, the ending credits were. I can't speak today. I'm sorry, guys. The ending credits rolled, and I was just, wow.
Yeah. You didn't have a lot to say after it, but it's in a good way. It's one of those, it leaves you, I don't know how to say it, like it leaves you, it kind of the same way Endgame impacts you. You know,
it's an interesting
some different feelings between the two movies, obviously.
Yeah, it's very different
between Joker and Endgame, but it leaves you, with that same kind of, you know, what do I say about this? Where do I go from here? What?
And it's interesting because that's an
interesting
interesting thing to mention. Endgame is because Joker and Endgame are literally as opposite a movie as you can get from each other.
Yeah.
Where Endgame is this giant ensemble finale, Joker is this single character driven, dark,
very single character
beginning. Not that they've said there's going to be a sequel, but it's the beginning of a character of
it's
an
origin story.
Yeah, and so it's like they're the exact opposites. But Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix absolutely did something masterful together.
Absolutely.
It was
yes
to get which I will briefly. You know, we've already kind of given our impression. But spoilers are going to be here. Haha.
Yes, absolutely. Spoiler filled. If you haven't seen the Joker yet, we want to encourage you to go
do it.
see it. But also
there were no shootings at our theater. So,
yes, thank the Lord.
Thankfully, no theaters actually.
Yes, actually, that is good. I think.
Yeah.
And I think some of those.
I hope you don't just think it's good.
No, well,
no.
I think it was that some of those things were based off of what happened in 2012.
Yes. No. As much as I
Yeah, so
it is a very serious topic.
So yes, but thank God there have been no
nothing like that. Nothing.
No. I think someone was arrested for threats.
Yeah,
someone was arrested for threats, but thank goodness everybody was safe. You want to go to a movie to enjoy the experience like we did yesterday. You want to learn something new about the characters, maybe something new about movies.
Yeah,
and we did all of that yesterday safely. So again, just always be safe out there. But man, no one was safe in that Joker movie. That's for sure.
There was only one safe person, Jordan.
It was the Joker.
No, not the Joker. It was the midget.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh.
That
Arthur, can you get the latch?
Can you get the latch?
The lock. The lock. I can't reach the lock.
In that scene, again, for assuming you've seen it at this point, this scene with the brutal murder that happens there, just subsequently just flipped around with the letting go of the midget because he was actually decent to him, Arthur said.
Yeah.
At least. The tension and the dark comedy that somehow escalated the tension so much more in that moment of walking past him. It's like walking past Joaquin, walking past him. Getting to the door, and then you just realize that setup because you saw him put the latch in when they first start, and you're like, "There's gonna be something with that."
Yeah.
And then you just realize as he's walking up, no.
Yeah.
And like to me, like that was a moment that definitely made me like chuckle. I'm in danger, But like,
yeah, no.
But the tension that a comedic moment caused there was so intense. I was legitimately unsure if Arthur was going to change his mind or not. And just kiss on the forehead and let him go.
And the funny thing is, pretty much everybody that Arthur, save maybe the psychologist, and I think it's implied that the fake girlfriend is killed. It might be implied. Everybody he killed was somebody who had disrespected him. Okay, so like the one dude kind of sold him out to their boss. The guy he had killed from the midget.
Yes,
they sold him out to his boss and pretty much got him fired.
I mean, he's the one who got him. Yeah, like they sold him out. He gave him the method of getting fired and then sold him out to the boss. Yeah,
yes. So, absolutely a jerk. The 3 Wayne employees, which the name Wayne had a big part to play in this movie.
Yeah.
But the 3 Wayne employees, obviously, one could consider that was self-defense.
It started off as self-defense. The
That's
first one was self-defense.
That's a good
The first
point.
one was self-defense.
First 2, technically.
Yeah, probably the first 2. First 1 or 2. It stopped being self-defense.
The third one was a hunt.
Yes.
It was
we are
really spiking. That's okay though, because
Wild Boys.
I just barely touched it.
Okay,
that'll do it.
That'll do it. We'll figure.
Yeah.
We'll make sure it's a nice balanced view for
Yeah,
you, our lovely viewers.
Yeah, we'll fix some of that. But anyway, yeah, it was like you said. I like that point. The first one, the first maybe 1 or 2, those were self-defense. After chasing a man off a train with a pistol, that's not self-defense.
No. That's
insurance.
Yes.
That's making sure he doesn't come back to do anything else. Or
there's so much to unpack because you have these moments of where that comes through and he's discovering that whole, I guess you could say, off his meds side, but what I found so interesting to me was the dynamic of, just one of the many things is the dynamic of what was real and what wasn't. Most of the movie I think was real in the context of the movie, but I question a lot of what happened, more than I think a lot of people have from what I've seen. We know from the movie itself, which I'm proud to say I caught, that the girlfriend was fake.
Yes.
We know that was fake. And we've established in the beginning of the movie that, before even that, they established, he saw himself in the talk show, and I think even he knew that was fake. I know he knew that was fake, the way they framed that. But then we know that he can fall for his own hallucinations with the girlfriend. But then there were a couple of times that I just found something inconsistent. The main which I'm thinking of, which doesn't... I've heard arguments both ways, and it could be completely valid. I don't know whether or not he actually murdered his own mother. I think he certainly did in his head. But he suffocates her with a pillow. But she has a breathing tube. Which theoretically it could pressure down on the tube and all, but it felt kind of weird that she would have the breathing apparatus on her once the pillow was removed and it didn't do anything. There
was also no flatline. The whole entire time in a scene where
you hear the beeps and then it just stops beeping.
Yeah, you hear the beeps. There's no beeping anymore, but you hear the solid
right
flatline. I was waiting for that moment.
They did the opposite.
Yes, I was waiting for that moment because usually in scenes where somebody, it sounds bad, in movies where somebody kills somebody in a hospital.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
when somebody dies.
Pretty common in movies, honestly.
Sometimes you'll have sometimes you'll have a shot where there's somebody sitting in the corner, watching somebody die in a hospital bed, and you'll just hear you'll just hear the heart monitor or whatever, and you'll hear it flatline, and it'll maybe push in real tight. Really intensely to someone's face.
Something like that.
Never heard that. I was waiting for it the whole time, but it never heard that, and that technically that means they're not dead.
It doesn't mean they're not dead because we don't hear any of the beeps, which means that it was just like not part of the whatever. So and that's another point of conjecture.
Yeah, I know you heard the beats too. Sorry, you heard the beats, but they became like,
they did become just like jumpy and all that.
And stuff. But again, no closure with her heart stopping. Sorry, it's
weird. Absolutely true. And the one that I've probably gotten a little bit more blowback on, that in talking to some of my friends in the past day, that I'm unconvinced on is whether or not he actually met with the Waynes. The various he went to
Wayne Manor.
There's Wayne Manor and there's Thomas Wayne. Those in the bathroom. Wayne Manor, there's less up in, like, I feel like that one's somewhat believable. Bruce seems like a bit of an actor in the sense of, like, I know he might be a weird kid, but I don't know if a kid that just stands at a gate and lets this stranger like paw their face and not back up at all, when they have this gate in between them. But you can definitely let that go. The bathroom to me in particular felt strange because
the cut afterwards, right?
Yes, that is the big thing.
Yeah.
But one, you can argue he somehow slipped in. I would argue it's a bit unrealistic for him to have slipped in, got the chauffeur outfit, changed out of it right in the bathroom like he did, and have the exchange happen and then not have Thomas get somebody to escort him out or to... Like, there's no implication that he was forced out or arrested or anything. He just left afterwards.
And
the reason for that, and the big thing to me, is that we have the shot of him at the Wayne Manor sink. Or the bathroom sink of where I assume. Well, I guess it probably wasn't.
It wasn't Wayne. It wasn't Wayne Manor. It was. I think it was like a town hall.
Yeah, it was like a town hall or something.
Hall Congress.
At that sink.
Yes.
Blood dripping on the sink, and then a hard cut to the exact, like precise exact position on it at his own sink. Which to me left the implication that was where he was in reality, and not that it was a time jump.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. You caught a lot of that I actually didn't caught. You were bringing in some good points. I do think he went to Wayne Manor. Mm-hmm. But I don't. I might agree with you with the whole Thomas Wayne in the bathroom kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that might have been a hallucination.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where even I'm not 100% on that. I think it is a distinct possibility. I think. It is, and that is something I'm very impressed with this movie on, is I try and be pretty sharp when it comes to this kind of movie, but it definitely needs rewatches to go through. And I cannot wait to be able to watch this movie with the pause button.
Oh, yes. And the rewind button as well.
There's so many things.
Yes, there is. It's a movie that very well could have been about like 3 hours long, but they packed into, and it wasn't like too condensed and stuff. No. It was perfectly timed, very well paced. I never seemed out of the movie. Everything connected and flowed the way it was supposed to, but they put so much into it. And somehow made it all fit into the time. It was only it was 2 hours, 2 minutes.
It's not 2 hours, yeah.
They put so much into so little time. And I was so impressed.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I want to I jokingly, was it the Instagram post from IMDb that was like, what's your favorite Joker? And it had
The
Jack,
it didn't even have Leto
Jack
on
Nicholson,
there.
Heath Ledger, and then Joaquin Phoenix and no Leto.
Yeah.
And I was Joseph. For those of you who don't know, he's a big fan of Jared.
I appreciate Jared.
He does appreciate more than most.
More than most, I do. I'm not like his biggest fan. No, I'm not his
Yeah.
biggest fan, but I definitely appreciate Jared for what he did.
And so more than most, Joseph appreciates Leto, and Leto wasn't in there, and I just tagged Joseph, and I was just like, dude, there's no Leto. He's gone. Jared's not here.
He's not in the building.
So I thought it was really funny, but I'm interested to see how you think it is, and I say compare loosely.
Yes.
How he is compared to other Jokers. I know. We can talk about that a little bit.
I think if we're gonna do comparisons, I think that Phoenix's Joker brought. I mean, one, he has the unfair advantage of being a movie about him instead of the other way around. Instead of being the antagonist, he is the protagonist. Might not be the right word, but the lead of the film. And I really think he did everything so right in the movie, not just in that he had the screen time for it, but every little detail about his movement, about his face. Like, that was something that impressed me, was not only did he communicate the crazed thoughts and the kind of, maybe I'm using this wrong, but like narcissistic, kind of psychopathic tendencies, but he did so in a way that still specifically invoked Joker. The way he moved, the way his feet slapped the ground, just had this comic, Joker-esque comic effect.
His run was so. It was like, how would the Joker?
It was so caricaturized, but it felt so legitimate.
How would the Joker run?
Like that.
Exactly. I can't even describe the way he ran, but it's like stomping long, gangly
Yes.
And I was like, you don't think about how much goes into putting together and how much goes into acting.
Mm-hmm.
But Joaquin Phoenix, as brilliant as he is, sat there and thought, I guarantee you, I don't think that's the way. If Joaquin goes for a jog, I don't think that's the way you would see. If he's in the gym on the treadmill, I don't think he's going to be like that.
I'm just picturing him with these giant elongated movements everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't think that's how he does it. I think he sat there and thought,
oh, for sure.
How does he do this? How would somebody like that?
How would Arthur Fleck
run? And walk and move. He's also very.
He got skinny for the role. He got skinny for the role.
Very skinny, and it's just
it was very impressive, and I think it really paid off in a way that we will not see replicated in a long time. I think that, to me, what we see here, and yes, there's recency bias, but I really do think that this could be the best Joker we've seen on screen yet. I know Ledger gets a lot of love, and he deserves all the praise for the performance that he did.
Yes.
But there was just something where that Joker was, as Joker typically is, it was the contrast and foil. Mm-hmm. This Joker was so completely realized, not just as the idea, as this almost unbelievably different portrayal of this almost archetype portrayal, but also as the human Arthur Fleck, and to get both was so incredibly,
and to get the transformation
and to see the very slow transformation.
Yes.
He was always there, but the way that his laugh, the forced neurological laugh that he has to do, the way it transitioned from pure pain and sadness, almost a cough that he was trying to stop, to just letting it go.
I very similarly, just now thinking about it, weird little things in somebody's voice in a movie. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I started thinking about episode 8 when Benicio del Toro was like,
yeah, little ticks like that.
I'm just kidding. I think that's freaking stupid. So that's why I brought it up. So I think it's the bit. Anyway,
it was
getting my
intense.
mind off of The Last Jedi. This is not a trick. That's the real joke.
Oh gosh, you got him there. Got him, baby.
I don't know what that was, but anyway.
There are no.
Anyway, a very similar thing I think of with his laugh was the same way Gollum coughs. Very similarly,
the force, yeah,
like him, like laughing but coughing, but it's uncontrollable,
yeah,
because he has this condition.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting bless you. It's a very interesting little character gimmick, I guess you could say, that Joaquin brought to the role brilliantly, because that's also really hard to do.
Yes.
Me and Joseph both agree that this is going to be the hardest Joker we've ever had to do impressions for.
Oh, it'll take me a bit.
It will.
I'm gonna have to watch again and like get it.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you when I say that we'll never see another. I know we'll never see another Joker like this, because first of all, everybody has their different taste.
Yes.
Everybody has a different style of Joker, which is something that I do love about the character,
Absolutely.
as well as about Batman and generally in that Gotham. In Gotham
The
City,
Gotham mythos.
Yes, that's the word I was looking
yes.
for. Just so many different takes on so many different characters, all by so many different actors, and that's what's amazing about it. But I'm so conflicted still between Ledger and Phoenix, because with Ledger it's not a thing of nostalgia. Ledger's performance will forever stick.
Yes.
Like, it's not something that's just like, well, he was the best and he should remain the best because that's nice.
No, he did something.
He did something new, something we've never seen and did 10, 11 years ago. So that definitely still, that performance is going to stick. And I have a hard time comparing his and Phoenix's, because to me, their Jokers could take place in the same time period. And what I think of that is because, well, first of all, we do see, the time period in the Joker is actually, I looked it up, it is late 70s, early 80s.
Yes.
That is the time period. And that would be when Bruce Wayne would be a little boy, like we saw in the film.
Yes.
Whether that scene was real or not.
No, but even that aside, you see the
time
murders
period.
happen.
Yes. You see the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne towards the end of the film. And you see even a shot very similar to, as we were saying, Batman v Superman.
Yeah, and Batman v Superman. The framing was very similar in certain moments, and the way, obviously the pearls are a very common factor with the death, but the way the gun knocked the pearls out was also very similar too, and BVS is interesting.
It was very similar, and also the shot of Bruce standing over the body of his recently murdered parents,
Classic.
Oh, that Bruce. Well, this is bad.
The Waynes are dead. Like,
oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Just a little heel click together.
I'm just picturing little Joaquin dance.
Next time, Batman's parents are dead.
This is the Joker that will come eventually.
Yes, we're just waiting on Leto to come back and be that Joker.
Oh man, we're waiting on somebody to be that Joker.
Oh, Bruce.
Oh, yes. There it is.
Parents are dead. Sorry.
That was actually really good.
You.
No,
thank you. Yes, I tried to act as awkwardly sexual as possible.
Yeah, that's the key for Leto's Joker. Really, it's just awkwardly sexual. And
I need to send you a rat to remind me later.
That's right.
So.
Oh man.
But anyway, comparing Jokers, to me, there's a wee woo outside.
Hello.
To me, Phoenix's Joker is a very clumsy kind of Joker, he's not, I guess if we're comparing him to Ledger's Joker is brilliant in that he is smart, he's cold, he's calculated, he is strategic.
Yes.
He's like the scariest version of the Joker in the sense that Like, you literally just can't predict what he's going to do.
He is actively, mentally attempting to force you into what he is doing.
That Joker couldn't even be somebody that had a mental illness. That could be just somebody who generally just hates people and who is just not, like...
He was in no way impairing himself or anything. It was a full, sharp mind ready to
absolutely it was
counter what was happening.
Yes, it was a different and that's what was so cool about the character and why it's so cool to compare these characters is because, as I said, Heath Ledger's is like everything Ledger's Joker did was planned. Some of the stuff like that Phoenix's Joker did just kind of some of it just
none of it was almost
just
none
kind
of it
happened.
The only thing that was planned was like the finale. That was it.
Yes, well, definitely Murray Franklin's death.
Yeah.
That was planned.
That's what I mean. Like,
but it's like that. His Joker in that moment was when I saw glimpses of Ledger. The whole rant, the whole that the really awesome angle I love where you just a little bit of light coming in and it's right up on his face and his face is just he's just angry and twitching and. Side note, I love Phoenix's look of the Joker. I love the suit. The suit, the hair, and the face. Like, everything about the way his Joker looks. His Joker's appearance might be my favorite, especially when he does the blood smile.
The blood smile.
That was like, that was the icing on the cake right there.
And I love it because it was more than just... It wasn't even about him finally being, quote-unquote, free of... everything. It was this idea of almost that the society was... I hate to say that there's too much meaning to what he was doing because he himself was struggling with that.
Yeah.
He bounces around between like meaninglessness and justice, and he is constantly torn in various directions. But if there is one thing, is that he's constantly rejected at every turn. And the ending where the fire and mayhem and destruction is all that is around him, that is where he is finally accepted. And that's the glorious moment for him.
Yeah.
As he just finally wears his smile.
They break the guy out of a cop car. He is practically worshipped there, surrounded by Jokers influenced by him.
Yes.
Influenced by the night he killed those 3 employees on the subway.
We already have the context before even any of that happens that Gotham is on the brink of this anarchist riot. And something that I love is that it's not like he's politically trying to overthrow the bourgeoisie and like he specifically, explicitly, they made it into the film to where he explicitly several times says, I'm not being political. I'm not being... It's just what I want to do.
He's not Bane when he's just like...
Right.
All the rich people, throw them in the street. Like, it's like... If he makes more than $100,000 a year, take his car and throw him in the street. Like, it's... Examine the income tax bracket. She's wearing a fur coat. Snap her neck. You know, it's like...
Right. Stop, that's imitation. Don't snap her neck.
I didn't think that was funny. Just like the random average Joe middle class guy, completely safe, and then the guy who owns an oil company.
Right.
Like, they're coming to get me. I'm hiding under my desk.
Right.
Throw him in the street. But I did think that was interesting. He wasn't as political, and that's also what I think of Joker's.
Yes.
Wait, Joker's Ledger. Mm-hmm. Ledger's Joker.
I was understanding where you were going.
Yes, thank you, because I didn't. Ledger's Joker was just doing it just because. It wasn't even that the world had done him wrong. We have no idea what happened to Ledger's Joker before the events of The Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. You know, except that his father was
something
apparently just bad. just a bad dude, apparently. He was a drunk. I don't know. Anyway, but there was so many different... Alcohol. My father was a tailor. He made me this suit. Like, this is his father.
Somebody had to have made that suit. That's a custom work.
I'm picturing how many things his father actually did. My father was a used car salesman. Holding the knife at the tree.
Right. Yeah. And he really slashed those prices.
father worked at Advanced Auto Parts or something like, or like what, something you've never seen. Where my father worked at O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
My father was a stockholder in Kmart.
Oh man, we had so much.
How many different, comment in the video, how many different things
how does...
Yes. What is Joker's father doing today? Exactly. There you go.
That's it right there.
Something. I love that. Anyway, I just feel like with Phoenix's Joker, it was kind of the idea of the craziness, and then Ledger's Joker went, well, what if that was calculated? What if we planned that? What if we, what if this was actually a movement instead of just the...
Ledger was the instigator,
yes,
whereas Phoenix was the birth.
Yes, it was the birth of the craziness. And that's why I think they can exist in the same universe. And the Joker could be an idea. I'm not saying they do, but it's just kind of, it felt to me like the idea of craziness was, manifested in Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And then Ledger was a small child at that time who saw that, and you're thinking about what could be, and that's the cool thing about this character. But you think about maybe Ledger saw that and he goes, his Joker's more of like, what can we do with the insanity? What can we do with this manifestation of craziness and, psychopathy, I guess, if that's a word. What can we do with it now that it's here?
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was cool about the different Jokers.
They have, despite being wildly different, there's always the underlying thread that threads through all of them.
Yes.
It's very fascinating.
Phoenix's Joker would never walk into a room with grenades underneath his jacket and go, listen, with the pin pulled, right? Like that's not him.
No.
Ledger's Joker is killing the psychiatrist talking to him in the ward, and then running down the hallway, and then a comedic back and forth chase between him and like
the
a warden.
Gag ending with the
gosh,
outline steps and everything.
I loved it. Just seeing them run back and forth
with bringing in the traditional like Finn ending.
I was waiting for him to come out of another door and then go through that door and then come out another door.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of ending it was, and it's just like, how else would you brilliantly wrap up something like that? Like, that's his Joker, though. That's something his Joker would do.
It's just, he finds it funny. And at the end of the day, he finds it funny.
Yes. He's embracing his difference, I guess you could say, between him and society, his laughing condition, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you can say it that way.
Yeah. What?
No, you're good. Continue.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I overall really enjoyed this movie, and I thought it was freaking brilliant, and it definitely deserved all the hype. That's what worried me about some of these movies is it gets so much hype, and then it comes out, and it's disappointing. This movie deserved every bit of hype that it got. Phoenix deserves every bit of every applause he's gotten so far for this role.
I don't expect them to, because they don't for comic book movies in general, but he really does deserve an Oscar for this one. It was something different. It was something special.
You're right. You don't see very many comic book characters getting Oscars for their performances in those movies. Wouldn't it be hilarious to have two Jokers get Oscars for their performances? And it very well could happen, because, it's an Oscar-worthy performance. Again, it lived up to everything that was said about it, and I went in with mixed expectations, which I didn't want to, sometimes I don't like to go into a movie with high expectations.
Yeah.
But I went in with expectations like, you know what, I think I'm really going to enjoy this. Regardless of how this goes, how his performance is, I think I'm really going to enjoy it. And boy, did I. What a phenomenal movie. I can't wait till it comes out.
In physical
form. In physical, yes, definitely. Yes. I'm getting it the day it comes out. That'll probably be sometime around the turn of the year, I'd suspect.
Somewhere around there. I don't know.
So, but
But yeah, that wraps it up for me.
10 out of 10 for me, man. Definitely.
10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. It was
What are the whole fractions?
whatever, yeah, 8 out of 8. It's all good.
97 to 97.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But it was a very intense, evocative, and provocative film. And
Absolutely.
that is
Done in the best possible way.
yeah. Be warned, it's top
it
tier.
Is top.
Top tier intent. I'm using the same words. It's
whatever
fine.
you're expecting going into watching the movie, you will come out with a completely different outlook of the film. I will say that.
It was, if you can know what you're getting into, but you still don't the feeling of going through it is definitely something you have to do.
What it leaves you with,
Yes,
is definitely nothing you would ever expect.
Yeah,
I will say that. So phenomenal performance, phenomenal movie. Joseph, I went to pick up my phone and it's not here because we're filming with it. But I want you to defend Jared Leto's Joker and tell me why Jared Leto is the best Joker.
I can't do
in
that.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Starting at 36.
Starting at 36?
All right.
And
go.
Well, you got to admit he does something entirely new with the character for live actions. He makes the Joker into this mob boss instead of the traditional crazy agent of chaos. He gives him structure and order and puts him in the situation we don't see him in outside of comics. So he brings a fresh new take that nobody else is trying to recreate.
That's impressive because that was really good.
Thank you,
sir. Congratulations. That was really good.
And I think that's a wrap for today.
That is a good wrap for today. Also, a very good explanation of Leto's Joker.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
And if anybody else can do that in 20 seconds, you can't because he just did. So you can't do it any better than that. Anyway. No. You gotta have the dance for him, Holly. Dance for him, Holly. Stay beautiful. See you later.